Well, in the United States of Formula One, Nicky.
Boogie filling in for Cookie.
Yeah.
Where is Cookie?
Cookie went to Spain to go see a long-lost cousin. So
Really?
He'll be back. So let's get right into it. F1 75 live at the O2 in London. Did you happen to watch any of it?
I caught a little bit of it. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but it was very exciting. But I know you watched it bell to bell.
I watched it
So why don't you go ahead and give me your recap of what you thought of it?
Absolutely amazing. Opens up with MGK. MGK's there. Opens up. Absolutely killed it. The special effects. Just everything was amazing on the show. Now,
so they invited Machine Gun Kelly out
Machine Gun Kelly to open it up.
Cleveland native.
Cleveland, yeah.
Cleveland native. We see him around at our sporting events. He was at the NFL draft when it was here a couple of years ago, so he's hanging around. He's no Eminem, but he's Cleveland's own.
Fun fact, because he does paint his fingernails. I don't have a problem with that. So does one of my favorite quarterbacks. Painted red. So in my eyes, I think that he's a Ferrari guy.
I
think he's a Ferrari guy. Now, we don't know that to be true, but that's just what I thought. Now, this guy hosted it. His name is Jack Whitehall. He absolutely nailed it. He was hilarious.
He is great.
The first thing he says basically says Max Verstappen doesn't want to be here, but then he tells him, at least we didn't sit you next to George Russell. So no, he killed it. Even my wife watched it and was dying laughing, mainly because he made a reference on Charles Leclerc about how hot he is and how his fiance wants to sleep with him just like my wife does. So
Jack Hall is a British comedian.
Yeah.
He's done a couple TV shows out of England.
Okay.
And I think he is hilarious. I don't know if you had a chance to see it. If you haven't had a chance to see it, I think it was on Netflix, or maybe it was on...
Does he have a special?
He has a special, which is hilarious.
Okay.
But him and his dad actually road tripped in an RV.
Okay,
and they followed him, and it was him and his dad traveling around in an RV. It is great. It was a great show. So if you haven't checked that out, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but
check it out. Jack Whitehall, hilarious. Yeah. He nailed it. Go back on YouTube. This is on YouTube, by the way. I watched it live, but it's still on there. It was a great event. Now I said there was a lot of people talking smack about it, which I don't understand. This to me was better than the Super Bowl this year. And that's just my opinion.
I understood this, unlike the halftime show, which I still don't understand. We explained it, and I still don't understand
Exactly.
Too old, too white.
So, big news. FIA, they announced the FIA. The whole place boos.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion.
Yes. And Horner was also booed, which I was a little confused about.
Really? I'm kind of surprised that they would boo Christian.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if that has to do with some of the allegations that were against him, but I thought that all got put to bed last year. Maybe it's just because Red Bull is so dominant this year. Maybe it's like booing.
You boo the best person, and you're sick of maybe seeing. But Max Verstappen's winning. Horner's not. I mean, I guess he's winning as well. So
I don't know. I like Christian Horner.
I do too. I love him.
I don't have a problem with him.
So now Gordon Ramsay, he's got at the paddock a restaurant.
Did they boo?
They did not.
I would have booed.
But they asked Gordon Ramsay about the rule change, and Gordon Ramsay says that they're athletes. It's in the heat of the moment. He said, and they should be able to swear. He said, and they should be able to let shit, and he actually said shit, come out of their mouth whenever it wants. And then Whitehall had to pull the mic away from him, or the microphone away from him.
So the celebrity chef, who's best known for cussing people out,
yes,
didn't have a problem with F1 drivers cussing. That makes sense. That tracks.
That's why it was hilarious. So you get, let's get into the liveries now. What I think that we should do is rate them. You can rate them however you want. I'm not going to actually ask you. I'm going to go in the order.
Are we just going to say we like them better or worse than last year, so that we don't have to keep track of which one's our favorite?
No. Just rate them 1 out of 10. I'm going to tell you my favorite. I'm actually going to tell you my favorite as soon as we get there, because I think it's hands down everybody on the internet's favorite. If you want to go back, and I don't know if you've seen them. Is this the first time
I saw them.
Okay.
I have my favorite.
Do you have your favorite already?
Yeah, I have my favorite already.
Perfect. Let's get into Kick Sauber. Now, Nico Hülkenberg I know Cookie would be
Nico's
sad.
going there, so this is obviously going to be Cookie's favorite.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak for Cookie.
Yes.
And he
Gives
loves
that a
the
10.
lime green. 10
Yes.
out of 10, lime green, Nicky Hulkenberg.
Yes. So first thing I did was take a shot of Nico Hulkenberg in green, and and sent it to Cookie, and he said some pretty explicit things about how happy he was. So
I am going to be thrilled that this next season coming up that he is going to either be in a dark shirt, like a black shirt, or a
Yes.
green shirt, because he wears that stupid white shirt, and it's a pain in the butt to light.
So
That's all I care about.
I'm going to rate the new Kick Sauber car. I love the way that it fades. The green kind of fades to the black on the back. I'm going to rate it. I'm going to rate it an 8.
An 8,
I'm gonna
really?
rate it an 8.
That's impressive. I'm going to give it a 5
Okay.
because even with my glasses on, I don't see a whole lot of a difference.
Okay. I knew that you were going to say that now,
know.
but it is what it is.
I know it's a little bit different.
It's
and
got a little
I
different.
get it. You know, sports teams have to keep their colors or whatever, but I thought they could have done more. They had an opportunity to do more, and I just think that they could have done more. And I was unimpressed by it.
Okay.
So it's not bad. It's not bad.
Just unimpressed.
It was unimpressed. So I'm
Well,
going to give it middle of the road 5.
Wait until we get to a couple more of these. You're going to be really unimpressed.
I'm going to be Mr. 5 guy today because a lot of these, I don't think are much better.
Let's go to Atlassian Williams next.
Speaking of not much better, much better. This one is much better. I like this one a lot better than Williams.
Is it because of the more blue that they added
Yes,
to it?
they
I
put
love
some
it.
color into
Yeah.
it. It looks good. You'll be able to see it on the TV for the first 10 laps until they crash out.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. I really think they did a good job where granted they had a new title sponsor.
Yeah.
So they had to, title sponsor and change it up a little bit. But I think they did a really good job with this car.
I think they did a good job. I think Carlos is going to look wonderful in it. So
For the first half of the year until he isn't there anymore.
no, he'll be there. Lies.
Wait till we get to our rating the driver show. I have a hot take for that. Where I think Carlos is going to be halfway through the season.
Carlos Sainz is the man, and he's going to rep the middle of the pack really good this year.
Wait,
man.
we didn't give our numbers on
Oh, I'm going to give it an 8.
it. Really?
I'm going to also give it an 8.
Oh my God, I'm copying off you. I'm giving it an 8 too. I love it.
I'm going to go to the V-Carb team, the Racing Bulls, Visa Cash App Racing Bulls.
The Baby Bulls car.
The Baby Bulls car.
Don't like
This
it.
is my absolute 10 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 10. I'm going to give it an 11. I might give it a 12. This is the sexiest car on the grid.
Huh. You're wrong. It
White
is not.
with the little Red Bulls.
you're wrong.
They killed this car. Way better than last year, where it was like the Toro Rosso hand-me-down car from last year. This is beautiful. I absolutely love it.
I liked last year's car better.
Because too much blue. There's too many blue
like
teams.
the blue.
Why can't we change it up?
We can
White.
change it
It's
up.
all
but
white. It's clean. It's beautiful.
I'm
Agree
not
to
a big
disagree.
fan of the white. We can disagree.
So I'm gonna go 10.
You're gonna go 10. I'm gonna give it. Let me go 6. I'll go
Okay,
6.
6
So
isn't
it's
bad.
better than Sauber's
Okay.
because at least they tried something new. I think they
Yes.
took a swing and a miss personally, but they took a swing. So you know what? 7. I'm gonna give it a 7 for
I like
taking a
it.
chance.
And they are the only team that actually changed the car. So
Yeah.
let's go right over to Haas. Now, basically, what they did was take the black on the side of the car and just kind of turn it to white and
They
put a little,
inverted
added
it.
a little,
They
basically a
just
little
inverted
inversion.
their colors.
But I love the black, the white, the red.
I like the color scheme.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. What do you
Solid
want
8 for me again.
Solid 8 for you.
All these, so there's only a couple cars that are going to be below 8s for me because these cars are so wonderful.
I'm gonna give it a 5. I'm gonna give it a 6.
Okay.
I would say 5 to match him with Kick Sauber, but
You remember this
I
is
want him
the
to be-
only American
I
team
know.
that we
I'm
have.
going to give him
right?
a 6 because it's uninspired. All they did was reverse the colors. I like the colors, though. I like the colors of this car.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they kept it, but
You
they
remember
just
their MoneyGram, you got red, you got black. There's really not much of a combination you can change it crazy to. Now, would you have liked it if it was all white with a little red and black flare?
no.
Exactly.
No.
Okay.
I would have liked to see
All black?
more red in it.
More red.
More of a red and black car instead of a black and white car.
But then they're gonna, then
They're not going to. Nobody's going to mistake
Ferrari.
Nobody's mistaking a Haas and a Ferrari.
Yeah, because there's
ever.
one in the front of the pack and
then
one in
there's
the back.
One in the gravel.
Okay, let's go to BWT Alpine.
Is it Alpines? Alpines?
Alpine. The car that Franco Colapinto is going to kill it in this year.
Yeah. Third race. You're gonna be in that car in the third race.
Third of the fifth race.
Third or fifth race.
So,
uninspired.
9.
9, really?
9. They changed up the blue, and then they took a lot of the black out. They put the blue on the side. I love the blue color that they went with. My second favorite car. I think that they got number 2 for me as far as best liveries.
They're sitting right there about the same with Haas for me, where I like the color scheme. I liked last year's color scheme, and I think that they did a better job than last year's car, so I like this car better than last year.
Added a little bit more pink to it.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like that they did a little bit more, but it's still, I think they could have done more. So I'm only going to give them an 8. It's still really good.
It's good.
It's still better than last year,
Yeah.
but I would have liked to see them take a bigger swing.
8's good. Now let's go to your favorite team. Just kidding.
Did they
Aston
change
Martin.
anything?
No.
It looks exactly the same.
They had a little black on the side.
I think the only thing they changed was I think they scratched off
Stroll?
Stroll's name off the side of it.
So I'm gonna
Go to rally car. We don't want you here.
I'm going to 5. I'll give it a 5. That's
5.
That's
Completely
5.
uninspired.
It was nothing.
The colors are fine. I like the colors. I like the green. But for a new livery, it's uninspired.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed.
Moving on.
Mercedes. Now they had some fading to the. I'm still 5. It looks like the same car to me.
Uninspired.
Yep.
5. Moving on.
Red Bull. It's the same car.
Same car again.
Hey, if it's not broke,
Don't fix it. Well,
I mean,
apparently,
I don't know what you can change on the Red Bull car that would make it any better. So I'm giving it an 8 because it's iconic.
Well, okay. This is rating. I'm rating the change. Like how much is the?
I'm just
new
rating the
change.
car.
So as a car itself,
Yes.
iconic car. Love the car. If you're talking just the paint job on a Red Bull car, it's an 8 for me all day long.
Yes.
If we're talking the changes that were made and the difference in the car this year, what it does for me, it's 5. It's nothing changed. So I'm not impressed by the lack of change, but I still love the car. So I'm going to say 5.
I'm going to say 8 just because I love the color scheme and I don't think they should change it. So I'm going to keep it with that. Now Ferrari. I saw this car live on the track today, and all basically they did was add that white HP, and I love it. It stands out more. That little bit of white, and then they added white on the spoiler. I absolutely love it. For some reason, you don't like white on F1 cars, but
I don't like the white on the F1 car.
That's my third favorite.
I loved Ferrari's car last year.
Okay.
Absolutely. That would have been my top pick, would have been Ferrari's car last year. And I think with this change, I think it knocks it down. So I'm going to give them an 8 because I still love the car.
Okay.
But I don't like the white on there. I like last year's better.
I love it. My favorite car was, I believe, the black Ferrari at I think it was Monaco last year.
Yeah,
I wish they would have went. If they would have went with that, that would have blew me out of the water.
You got to have red though, because it's Ferrari.
I
It's
know.
got to be predominantly red.
You gotta have the red.
You break
I
out
get
your third jersey for your
Yes.
special races.
Yes.
And so I'm okay with that.
Yep.
And Mercedes does that too, because they have their all black car with the little Mercedes logos on it. That's
I
a
like
pretty
that.
nice looking
So,
car.
but
too.
you have to have the red.
Yeah.
But I do like the white. It going down the racetrack, and I don't know if you saw it yet. It looks phenomenal. So last car, and it was presented, because they were the constructors champions. No changes. Forward McLaren, not one change. Same car, basically.
So
I mean, different changes in the design of
so minute.
subtle.
So subtle.
Yeah.
So once again, last year's car probably right up there with Ferrari.
Yeah.
A very tight second. Love this car.
Yeah. So what?
Absolutely love it. As far as the changes this year, I have to give it like a 5 because they didn't change anything. So it's not an inspired change, but it's a great car to start off with, so it's hard to change perfection.
And like he said, It was our constructor championship car. And I think that what they're hoping for is the driver championship. Let's not change the car. Let's keep it the same. It gave us good luck last year. Let's keep it the same.
Well, you know, if they need to change anything, they need to change papaya rules, not papaya colors.
Yeah. On stage 2, they had all the championship cars. So they had the old Marlboro and the car that Lewis Hamilton won. It was cool. So hopefully the drivers champion. Actually, never mind. We'll get into that at a separate time.
Yeah.
Because we're going to do that next in the next couple of weeks. We're going to rate, basically put where we think the world championship is going to be, and where we think P1 through P20. I'm going to say P21.
P21.
Because there was 24 drivers last year, so I think there's going to be at least 21 drivers this year. So follow us for that. If you have not watched F175, go back. Watch it. Absolutely amazing. We'll see you next time.
Cookie loves you.
Follow us on YouTube at the United States of F1, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at United States F1. Copyright Brugman Media Limited 2025.